Well, he worked at ESPN last couple years as a college football analyst, Mississippi State and Florida in the SEC. He knows high-end football, and now he's a coach at UNLV, which has the best collective in the Mountain West Conference. And he knows Urban Meyer and Dan Mullen. They worked together years ago. He's now joining us live. And I remember when the UNLV's facilities were in a dark, dingy place, and now it's sunshine everywhere for Dan Mullen. Good for you. Okay, I want to start with this. So I talked to Urban this week, and you know the pressure of the SEC. You know the pressure of big football. And I've always said that Ohio State, Dan, is an SEC team north. They're the only SEC team north. Ryan Day, bad performance. Do you like, so after a bad game at Florida, and you get a month off, did it help you or hurt you? What should I expect from Ohio State off that stinker against Michigan?
Well, listen, it's going to help their performance in the end when they get on the field because they're going to be a little angry when they get out there. But it hurts. That is a long, miserable month of everybody telling you how awful you are. I mean, it's just it's just dreary. It's miserable. You got to find a way to motivate yourself and pick yourself up out of it in those situations, which is not easy to do as a coach. Listen, fans are so critical of coaches. I think every person in Ohio probably thought Ryan just walked up and kicked their dog that was laying on the floor, and they look at him that way. But no one's harder on themselves than the coaches. There's no one. I hate to say it for all your Buckeye fans out there. There's no one in the state of Ohio that wanted to win that game more than Ryan Day and put more into it. So I know he's awful about it. He's going to be ready to get back out there on the field. They need to pull themselves out of that misery.
Well, you had a job like that in Florida, and I want to pivot to the SEC. So Carson Beck's not playing for Georgia. I don't think they can win a natty without that. And I'll tell you, I think Texas, I love Texas, but offensively, they're so good defensively, they've gotten a little conservative offensively. As a favorite, because I think Texas passes the eyeball test, would you want to be Texas, where you're kind of scuffing a little bit, but you got the best roster? Is that a place that's comfortable as a coach? Because you were a favorite in a lot of big games at Florida. Did you like being a little bit of a dog, or did you like being the big dog coming in with a chest out?
They're both a lot of fun. And listen, I spent a lot of time at Mississippi State, and I think we were the underdog about every single week in the SEC.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. You have a little chip on your shoulder. I think you just adjust to both. And as a coach, and you get your team to believe in that. It's hard when you're at Texas to say, hey, let's go really get that chip. You have to say, we have to play to our standard. We have to play to our talent level. We have to do the things that we're good. We have to be as good as we are supposed to do and perform that way every week. It's hard to play the chip on the shoulder card when you're at Texas. But I tell you what, as a coach, both are fun. Both are great challenges to go do it. But there's no way they're going to get it. Texas has to go, and they have to say, hey, we've played like a dominant team when we've played people we're better than. When we've played people we're equal to, we have not shown that. And there are 2 games against Georgia. You saw their offense didn't show up.
Yeah.
They're throwing the ball. When you're watching these clips, they're throwing the ball down the field, scoring touchdowns. If you're going to play Georgia, you're going to play the big teams. You have got to hit explosive plays down the field, throwing the football, and they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, you're not going to get 13-play drives against the Georgia Bulldogs. So I was thinking about this tonight if I was Marcus Freeman. I got the better roster. I'm at home. I'm playing in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Dan, I'd want to run that puppy, eat the clock, get out of there. I wouldn't want to get tricky. I got the better roster. I'm at home. Have you ever gone into a game, and maybe not because of where you coached, where you're the favorite, you got the better roster, weather can be a problem, maybe it's raining sideways in Starkville. Notre Dame's in a weird spot tonight that the weather is not their ally. Because by the way, Indiana can run it. They're well coached. If you were Notre Dame tonight with this weather you're facing, does it change the game plan?
No, usually when you're the better team, you want to run more plays. So, you don't want to slow it down because if we have better players, better talent, the more plays we run on the field, the better opportunity our talented guys have to make something special happen. I do, though, see with the weather. And listen, Notre Dame, I know they're explosive, have good players with better roster. They like to run the ball, too. Listen, in TV terms, I don't see a Phil coming in this game right now. This one's going to be over, and it's going to be over fast. You better tune in early. This is probably going to go as fast as that Army-Navy did because both teams are going to be, I think, run the football, be conservative, and, might set football back. This is going to look like the Four Horsemen might come out from Notre Dame in this one, like the 20s playing.
Yeah. So, listen, I like the transfer portal and the NIL. I do think everything needs to be managed. I think you need to have a cap with the NFL. I mean, hell, the NFL's got a salary cap. I think you should have like a 16 to 17 million cap so the gap between Ohio State and Purdue doesn't become 40 million to 8. And I also think the transfer portal, I don't know exactly what you do. I think we're getting a little caught up. The truth is USC lost some good guys. They're going to find some good guys. I don't worry too much about it. Is there any, and I love the playoff, is there anything that worries you from somebody who was coached in the SEC? You've broadcast. Now you're in the Mountain West. Anything worry you about all these changes in college football?
You know, the great thing, being out of it for the last couple of years and not having to deal with the adjustments on a day-to-day basis, when you see it from the 10,000-foot view, I'm more comfortable coming back into it and having seen it and understand it. The second transfer portal window they have after spring practice, I kind of wish they'd get rid of that. Like, you know what? Establish your roster. Show kids, I'm going to go to this school. I'm going to make a one-year commitment. Like, we're just here for a year. Coaches can manage their rosters. Players know they have a chance to develop. This is their team. The signing day. I think if they just tweak the calendar in college football, they can help it.
Yeah.
Hey, the money, kids, if the NCAA would have tried to find a way and figure out how to pay the kids a long time ago and give them a little something, it would have helped. And we might not be in this as crazy a situation as we are. But you know what? The kids deserve some of the money. There's a lot of money coming from all the different TV networks, and the kids deserve some of that money, the opportunity to go make it. The other thing I think, though, the hard one, that the message to give the kids, and the message I'm trying to give the kids come here, don't forget about development. At some point, you know, if you're going to a different school every year for 4 years, when are you really learning the system? When are you learning to develop? When are you learning to go take that next step? I've coached quarterbacks my whole life. I want to have a quarterback that I can coach, develop, and start learning graduate level classes, not just kind of, we're going to try to dumb it down because we have you for a year and you can learn a system. I want guys, make sure guys understand you need to really spend time, develop yourself, learn your trade, and not just be jumping around from one year to the next. But hey, that's the system. They're going to do it. I understand it. It's great. We had a bunch of players go to the portal after our bowl game the other night. They're going to go look at opportunities here at UNLV. But my phone's blowing up with guys that want to come play. You know, we have the opportunity. The great thing, you said the playoffs. I think we have a great path to the playoffs here at UNLV. Look at Boise. We have beaten Boise in the championship game last year. I'm sitting on a bye right now. I'm going to be hanging out with you. We're having a good time in Vegas, and we're sitting on a bye going to watch, you know, SMU Penn State game tomorrow, see who we're going to play in the second round. So I love our path, and I think college football is doing some things the right way. They just need to get everybody on the same page to tweak it, to make it the best for the student athletes, the players, the high school kids coming in. Just put a little barrier around it. And just clean it up a little bit and we can't get out of our own way sometimes.
Well, I just saw the world's best fake punt at that UNLV win over Cal. You were in attendance. It's the best fake punt I've ever seen in my life. And I want to say you had a cushy job as a broadcaster. What did your wife say when you said, "Hey, I want to go back and coach again"?
She's like, what? I thought we were kind of retired with this broadcasting life, like somewhat, you know, out of this world. And you know what? It's crazy, Colin. A lot of people say, what's going on is, you know, I've had a lot of people call with interest, offer different jobs over the last couple of years. And it was just something you said. I was enjoying broadcast and I was really enjoying TV. Somehow something about this job hit a spark in me. Yeah. You know, I don't know if we have great facilities here. Yep. The Fertitta football complex, the family's done a great job at giving us facilities. We played at Allegiant Stadium in an NFL stadium, one of the nicest stadiums in football at any level around the world. You're in a great market. Las Vegas is a great place to live, as you know. Yeah. And, you know, we have so much going on. It kind of got me really excited. The path to the playoffs, I'm thinking, I think I'm going to go have some fun. We're going to go coach some ball, have some fun, and have a good time and see if we can get ourselves to the playoffs and win a championship here at UNLV. Yeah, the weather's a little better than Bristol, Connecticut. No shot at my former employer. Hey, it's great seeing you. Say hi to the people at UNLV. You too. Fertitta family's been amazing in that community. Unbelievable family. Dan Mullen, UNLV, the Mountain West. They got a little collective money. Thank you, Dan, for coming on the show. I do appreciate it. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.